Swayam Prabha, free DTH channel for education.
Non-homogeneous problem once again. Okay, so we know that in general you can write your y is equal to, if it is a homogeneous ODE, you can write plus c1 y1 apex plus c2 into y2 apex, you can write it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write y equal to, instead of this one, I'm going to write c1 apex into y1 apex. Okay, y1 apex plus c2 apex into y2 apex. Means what I'm doing here is that I'm just going to, here it is homogeneous solution. I have C1 and Y1 as the solution of the homogeneous part, but C1 and C2 are constant. Now what we are going to do in this one is that for non-homogeneous ODE, we are going to use a different kind of variation of this one. Okay, instead of keeping C1 as constant, I'm going to use C1 and C2 as a variable, and I'm going to substitute in the original equation, and I will eliminate what is my C1, C2, and then we'll find the answer for that. So in this case, what is it going to come? So C1 of x and C2 of x, I will just find it out from here. Since I'm varying this here, it is a, I just call it as a parameter once you go for the methods in the mechanical engineering or something. So this C1 and C2, you can vary it, and then you can find a different kind of scenario is going to come. Since it is a parameter, I'm just changing this parameter. That's the reason it is called variation of parameters. Okay, this is called variation of parameters. So therefore, I'm going to find my particular solution, okay, for the non-homogeneous solution, using this yp is equal to c1 of x into y1 of x plus c2 of x into y2 of x. And then we are going to find what is our c1 and c2. This is the idea of the variation of parameter. So let us find that. Okay. So what it is going to come? So this is going to become like, if I find I'm just going to write as c1 into y1 plus c2 into y2. Okay. Yp dash, I can write it as c1 dash into y1 plus c2 dash into y2 plus c1 y1 dash plus c2 y2 dash, because there are c1 is also a function of x, y1 is also a function of x, therefore 4 terms will come. Now yp double dash, that is going to become like c1 double dash y1. Okay, first I will complete the first variable and then I will complete the second variable. C1 double dash y1, c2 double dash y2, okay, plus c1 dash y1 dash plus c2 dash y2 dash. Now I go for the second variable, wherever I have in the UV, I will come for the second one. So then this is going to become like c1 dash y1 dash plus c2 dash y2 dash plus c1 y1 double dash plus c2 y2 double dash. Okay, so I can simplify this further. So this is c1 y1 dash plus c2 y2 dash. I can put 2 c1 dash c2 dash y2 dash, but I'm not going to do that because I will just use it for a different thing. So what I'm going to have, so I'm going to substitute this in this equation. So I'm going to substitute in this equation y double dash plus p of x into r, means py dash plus qy equal to r. Okay, in this equation I'm going to substitute. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to find what is the answer is going to come. Since I'm going to substitute over here, this is going to be yp is going to come. Let us substitute and then find the answer. So this is going to become like, I'm going to get c1, so the expression will be bigger, therefore I'm starting from here. So c1 y1 double dash or c1 double dash y1 plus, let me write c1 double dash y1 plus c2 double dash y2, okay, plus c1 dash y1 dash plus c2 dash y1 dash plus c1 dash y1 dash plus c2 dash y2 dash plus c1 y1 double dash plus c2 y2 double dash, okay, plus now I got to multiply by p, therefore this is going to become like p into, okay, second term, this is going to become like p into c1 dash y1, okay, y1 plus p into c2 dash y2 plus p into c1 y1 dash plus p into c2 y2 dash. Then I got to multiply by q, so therefore this is going to become like q into c1 dash y1 plus q into c2 dash c2 y2. No dash here, c2 c1 y1 c2 y2. This is equal to r. Okay, this is equal to r. On the right hand side I have r. Now I'm going to simplify this little further. What I'm going to do, I'm going to collect y1 dash means c1 terms common. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to collect the c1 dash from here. So this time I'm going to take it. Okay, first one I'm going to take this one, and then I'm going to take this one. Okay, p1 c1 y1 dash, and then I'm going to take this one. So therefore, what I'm going to have? I'm going to have c1 into y1 double dash plus p into c1 y1 dash. C1 I have already taken out, so this is going to become like. So I have taken already P, C1 out. So this is going to become like P y1 dash plus Q y1. Okay. Then next I'm going to take these terms. Okay. I'm going to take these terms. Okay, C2 y2 dash. Okay. And then P C2 y2 dash, C2 y2 double dash, P C2 y2 dash, and Q C2 y2. These three terms I'm going to take. So here C2 is common, so I'm going to take C2 out. So therefore this is going to become like y2 double dash plus p into p into y2 dash, okay, p into y2 dash plus q into y2. Okay, so these are the three terms I have taken. Now what else I have? I have remaining term. I'm going to use it as it is. Okay, so therefore here I'm going to take c1 remaining term. I'm going to write as it is. Okay, the remaining term is going to be c1 double dash y1 plus c2 c1 double dash y1. What else I can write? Okay, so I'm going to collect c1 dash c1 terms nearby. So I'm going to write c1 dash y1 dash. Okay, so the next c1 is this one, and one more c1 is also there. So that also I'm going to keep it. Okay, c1 dash y1. Okay, so one more c1 dash I have c1 dash y1 dash c1 dash y1 dash, and then what I have this one p c1 dash y1 is there. Okay, so I'm going to have p c1 dash y1. Okay, and then I have to collect the c2 terms. So in that case it is going to become like I have same kind of thing, c2 double dash y2 plus c2 dash y2 dash. Okay, so here y2 dash, and then again plus c2 dash y2 dash. Okay, and then here I have plus p c2 dash y2 is going to be there. So these are the terms I have. Now, since y1 is the solution of this homogeneous part, okay, y1 is the solution of this one, we have assumed this is the solution of the homogeneous part. Therefore, this is going to become 0. Okay, this is going to vanish, and this is going to vanish. Okay, these two are going to get vanished. This is not going to be there. Okay, so these two are going to get vanished. Means what I'm going to have? I'm going to have now. Okay, only this remaining term is going to be there. So this is going to become like c1 double dash y1 plus c1 dash y1 dash plus c1 dash y1 plus p1 dash y1 is there. So now what I'm going to do, here p is common, so I can take the p out. Okay, I can take the p out. Then what I'm going to write for example this term. Okay, if I write dash y1 plus c1 dash y1 dash. Okay, now if I suppose do this one, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write. And I'm going to write this one d by dx of, okay, c1 y1, c1 dash y1. Okay, if I write this one, what is it going to come? I'm going to get c1 double dash y1 plus c1 dash y1 dash is going to come. Therefore, this term I can write as d by dx of c1 dash y1. Similarly, you can see that c2 double dash y2 plus c2 dash y2 can be written as d by dx of c2 dash y2. Therefore, these two terms, what I can write it as, I can write it as d by dx of c1 dash y1 plus c2, this is c1, c2 dash y2. Okay, I can write it. Okay, then what else I have? I have this term. Okay, so I can write it as plus, okay, p into c1 dash y1 plus c2 dash y2. These two terms. Okay, p I have taken. Okay, then plus I have one more term is that I have c1 dash y1 dash plus c2 dash y2 dash. Okay, so these are the terms available. On the right hand side I have d is equal to r. I have on the right hand side I have r. Okay, now I have two 2 terms here, actually 3 terms here. Okay. Now I'm going to do some manipulation and then we are going to get the solution for this problem because I need to find what is my C1 and C2. Okay, that's my ultimate aim. Okay, so that is my ultimate time. So I got to solve this and then I got to obtain the solution for the C1 and C2. So how do we go for? Suppose, okay, suppose I choose, let me try. Suppose I choose my C1 dash Y1 plus C2 dash Y2 as 0. Then what will happen? Automatically this term will go 0, this term will become 0. So only term this will be remaining. So in that case C1 dash Y1 dash plus C2 dash Y2 dash is going to become like R. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this technique. Okay. Let me erase here. Okay. So let me erase and then tell you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to choose C1 dash Y1 plus C2 dash Y2 equal to 0. Okay, I'm going to choose, then this term will vanish, this term will vanish. So only term, this is going to be there. Okay, so in that case, this is going to become like C1 dash Y1 dash plus C2 dash Y2 dash equal to R is going to come. Okay, that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I have C1 dash, I'm just choosing, okay, we assume that C1 dash Y1 plus C2 dash Y2 equal to 0. Then the first term is going to vanish, only the remaining term is going to become like R is going to be there. So now what I can do, I need to solve this problem. Okay, so this can be written in this way. What I can write it as, this can be written as Y1, Y2, Y1 dash, Y2 dash, okay, into matrix problem. Okay, I can write it as C1 dash, C2 dash equal to 0, R is going to come. Okay, so this is going to be there. So from this one you can identify that. So this is Y2 dash is there. So this is going to be obtain the solution if the rank of this matrix is equal to 2. Okay, if the rank of the matrix is 2, I can uniquely determine C1 and C2. So means what I need this determinant of this matrix should be not equal to 0. So what is the determinant of this matrix? This is going to become like this is nothing but the Rand scale. Okay, if you calculate the determinant, that is going to become like Rand scale because if you what is our Rand scale definition? Which is Y1, Y2, Y1 dash, Y2 dash. This is the Rand scale definition. Therefore, if it is Rand scale is not equal to 0, automatically this is going to become 0, and Rand scale is also not equal to 0 because Y1 and Y2 are linearly independent. If it is linearly independent, your W is not equal to become 0. Okay, so therefore what you can do, you can find the solution for this one using the Grammar's rule. So for Grammar's rule, what do? You apply 0 R here, okay, and apply Y2 dash here. Okay, then you will get the answer as C1 you will get that. So therefore what you are going to get, so in that matrix this is going to become like so denominator of this one divided by W. Okay, so this is going to be your C1 dash, so therefore which is going to be 0, this is going to become like 0, therefore you are going to get minus Y2 into R. Okay, minus Y2 into R divided by W is going to be. Similarly, you can find your C2. Okay, C2 dash is going to become like, you replace this one by 0 R, so this will become like Y1 into R is going to come. So Y1 into R divided by W is going to come. Since W is not equal to 0, you are going to get a unique solution for this problem and resolve it. So using the Grammar's rule, you can obtain the solution for this one. Now C1 dash and C2 dash is obtained. So if you want C1 and C2, Y1 is known, Y2 is known to you, R is known to you, Y1 is known to you, R is known to you, W is also known to you because you can calculate the Rand scale, you can integrate and then you can find the answer from this one. Okay, so that is going to give you the solution for your problem. So let us solve one problem using this method. Okay, then you will understand how does it work. X square y double dash, okay, plus xy dash minus 9y equal to 48 x power 5. Okay, this is the problem. Now what I got to do, I got to solve this problem. So this is if you see the homogeneous one, that is actually Euler-Cauchy equation. Therefore the immediately you can write what is your auxiliary equation. So that is going to become like m square minus 9 equal to 0. Therefore your m is going to become like plus or minus 3. Okay. Therefore your solution is going to become like y is equal to c1 x power 3 plus c2 x power minus 3. Okay. Now we are going to solve the problem using the variation of parameter. So for that, what I need to find? First, I need to find what is my C1 and C2 I got to find, and then I got to find the answer for this one. So let us find our W. Okay, so W I got 5 first here. So W is going to become like W is going to become like you are going to get W is going to become like y1 by 2. Therefore, this is going to become like x3 x power minus 3. Okay, and this is 3x square, and this is going to become like minus 3 by x power 4. Okay, so therefore this is going to become like minus 3 by x. Again, this is 3 minus 3 by x, so minus 3 by x. Therefore, this is going to become like minus 6 by x. Okay, so minus 6 by x is what runs here. Now we got to substitute it over here. So here you should be careful. So what many people used to do is that C1 dash we need to write it, right? So we will make this mistake many times. So C1 dash, what we will do is that you got to calculate this one 0 by 2 r by 2. So I will tell you C1 dash what we need to do. So C1 dash is going to become like, so C1 dash is going to become like minus, so this is the formula, minus y2 r divided by w is going to be that. So what is minus y2? So here minus y2 dash y2 r divided by w is that. Okay, so what you used to do is that I repeatedly tell you you will make this mistake. Okay, so what is y2? Y2 is going to become like minus x power minus 3. Okay, and r is nothing but 48 x power 5 divided by w is nothing but minus 6 by x. Therefore, you are going to get, this is going to be in the numerator. So 48 x power 6 is going to come. So you are going to get 6 and 8 is going to get cancel, minus minus get cancel. So 8 into x power, you are going to get so x power 6, x power 3. So x power 3 is going to come. Okay, this is what you will do, but this is not correct. Okay, it is not correct. So what you need to be remember is that I have obtained the formula by using this as unit only. Okay, this is very, very important. I have obtained this by using this as unit only. So here it should be unit. So here you have x square y double dash. Okay, so your r is not 48 x power 5 then. So in that case, you have to convert this problem into this format. So that format is nothing but y double dash. Okay, y double dash plus y dash by x plus minus 9 by x square. Okay, equal to 48 x power 3. Okay, 48 x power 3. This is, therefore your r of x is this one. Okay, your r of x is this one. Therefore, what you are going to get, C1 dash is going to become like minus y2. Y2 is going to become like minus x power minus 3 as given here. 48 x power 3, because my r is this one. Okay, 48 x power 3 divided by minus 6 by x. Therefore, you are going to get minus 6 and 48 get cancelled. So 8 is going to come. This is going to become like x power 4, x power minus 3. Therefore, you are going to get 8x is going to come. Okay, I keep on remembering, I keep on telling this one, but still you will make this mistake. Okay, so you should remember that this r should be made like this. If you make this one, then it will go wrong and the answer will not come. Okay, that is going to give you the wrong result. So you should be careful with that. So C1 dash equal to 8x means what is your C1? C1 is going to become like 8x square by 2. Therefore, you are going to get 4. You are going to get your answer as 4x square is going to come. Okay, so you are going to get C1 equal to become like 4x square. Okay, same way you can obtain C2 dash. Okay, so C2 dash you can write it as C2 dash is going to become like y1 by y1 into r by w. Again same thing. Okay, 48 x cube. So you are going to get y1 is going to become like x cube into 48 x cube divided by minus 6x. Therefore, this is going to become like 8 x power 7 is going to come. Okay, minus 8 x power 7 is going to come. Okay, there is a minus symbol. Okay, so therefore this is going to become like x power 8. Okay, minus x power 8 is going to be that C2. C2 is going to become like minus x power 8. So therefore, what is your solution? Your yp is nothing but, so what is our yp? Yp is nothing but C1 y1 plus C2 y2. Okay, so therefore this is going to become like C1 is nothing but 4x square. Okay, and y1 is nothing but x cube. Therefore, this is going to become like x cube plus C2 is nothing but minus x power 8, and the y2 is nothing but x power minus 3. Okay, therefore this is going to become like 4x power 5 minus x power 5. Therefore, this is going to become like 3x power 5. Therefore, your solution is going to become like, I'm going to get the general solution as y is equal to C1 x cube plus C2 x cube plus 3x power 5. Okay, this is going to be your solution.